Hello friends, my name is jana.eubank and I'm so excited to be back with another layout using the beautiful February 2025 Hip Kits from Hip Kit Club. This collection is called the Our Stories collection, and it has been so much fun to see what the design team and all of the community members have been creating with this kit. It has such a fun, unique color scheme to it, and I love that you can either create masculine pages or feminine pages. Now today I'm going to pull out more of the masculine colors and create a layout about my son. Now, a moment ago, I was showing you some pictures that I had taken on my phone. And what I had done on my phone is I had gone through all of the vellum letters from the main kit, and I had spelled out several different words using those vellum letters, just trying to make the most of the colors and what I had left. So I'd taken a picture. I had done that previously, and I had taken a picture of it and just left it on my phone as a reference. So one of the words that I had created was the word cool. And I had decided to use the 2-letter Q's in the vellum letters and just cut off the tails and use those as letter O's. So for my title today, it's going to be Cool Dude, which my son is a cool dude. As you can see in this photo, right? He's playing his guitar, he's playing his harmonica. In fact, this was one of the one morning we were getting ready for church, and he just came in, waiting around for us girls in the family to get ready and decided to serenade us. And I thought, you know what? Owen is one cool dude. I'm going to use those photos to create a layout about that. So that is what I'm working on today. Now for the background of this page, I'm going to be using one of the sheets from the Cardstock kit. The Cardstocks are printed with a solid texture on one side, and then on the other side, there's always like a B-side pattern or a general pattern in all the different colors from the Cardstock kit. And for the February kits, it was a ledger pattern. So I'm using the color Silver, which is a really kind of light grayish blue, and it's so pretty and it's just perfect. I can't wait to use all the colors, of course, with that ledger pattern and the solids, but it worked particularly well for this page. So my idea for this layout is that I want to use the speech bubble dies and stamps to create my journaling for this above my title. And so I'm going to leave a nice big space above my title in the top right corner of this page, and then I'm placing my photos in an L shape on the left and lower sides of this layout. So I have matted both my photos with both the orange pattern paper that you saw me do that, just a tiny thin mat, and then I matted them again with that navy grid cardstock. I then am building a column of lots of pattern paper strips over here on the left side to just anchor both of those pieces and to really emphasize that L shape that I have going on with my two photos. Now to add interest to these, I did mat them a little bit differently. On the bottom, I ripped the two sides of the photos together on that one mat. And then on the larger photo, I left it a little bit of space along the bottom, almost like a Polaroid style. So just to kind of switch it up. Now, originally I had thought that I would use some of these branding strips. I used the navy stripe one behind the right side of that green polka dot paper, and I thought I might add in this orange color one as well to go with the orange paper that I used to mat the photos, but it started to feel a little busy to me, so I opted to leave that off. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere those pattern paper strips down. I'm going to adhere my photos down. Now on that larger Polaroid shaped photo, I did decide to tie some black twine around that just to add some soft texture to this page. And that's not in the kits. That's just something I pulled from my stash. And I really like that because it ties in with my son's black suit in the photos. So now this page is starting to take shape. So I'm going to get everything set down and continue on with the design. Now I wanted to add a pop of green. I've got that little bit of green in my title there with that letter L, and I wanted to bring that color in other places. So from the embellishment kit, I grabbed some of these photo corners. They're so cute. They've got like some silver foil details on them. And I decided to add one to the top of the main photo and then two on the opposing corners of the two smaller photos. And you can see how I did that there. Next, you can see that I have in the corner of my L shape of these photos, I have quite a bit of space that I need to fill here. So what I decided to do was to layer up several of these journal bits and label pieces from the kits, both the main kit and the embellishment kit, and just start to extend the left side of those two smaller photos. Next, I'm going to look through the die cuts and try to find some other things that I can tuck in here. I have this radio, which kind of ties back into the music that my son is playing, and then I'm just going to kind of thumb through the other die cuts. But what I end up deciding to do is to bring in lots of florals. So yes, this is a guy's page or a boy's page, but you can definitely use florals on their pages, and especially these beautiful, fun, funky florals in the February kits. So I'm going to play with these florals for a minute and just work out my floral cluster to the left of those journal bits. And then I'm also going to add another one to the top right corner of my other photo. Now, as I play with these flowers, I'm trying to repeat the same elements in those two floral clusters with the same colors of flowers. I also have that bright green fern leaf type branch that I'm tucking in, and then I'll also add in these navy leaf branches as well. I'm just trying to add repetitive elements so that those two floral clusters will tie in together. So I'm going to set the top cluster aside for a minute. I felt like it was kind of crowding my title there, and so I just moved it out of the way, and I'm going to work on my title and then come back to those flowers and get those in place once I get my title going. So what I decided to do with my title, these are vellum letters, so they are see-through, and you can see any kind of adhesive that you put behind them, which is no problem. But on this particular layout, I wanted to pop up the title. So what I decided to do is to mat these on some white cardstock first. That way I can add foam squares behind those vellum letters and you're not going to see that. So this is just some white cardstock that I snagged from my stash, and I just took a minute to mat all these and just to trim around them with some detail scissors. I'm going to go ahead and use some foam squares and get that word cool into place. Now, initially I thought that I was just going to use the word cool as my title, but I thought, that's kind of, just ends. So I will come back and add the word dude so that my title will be cool dude. And you'll see me do that eventually. Now I did just replace that floral cluster to the top right corner of my photo. And then I had also pulled out these circular pieces that I thought I might add to the centers of the word cool. I really thought that was fun and kind of funky and very boyish, but I can't really decide if I want to do that or not. I feel like it might be adding too much to that title and just making it a little, I don't know, just made it feel like it was pulling focus from the photos. So I'm still going to play with those, and I end up not using them, but you will see how I do some other things to this title to really help it to stand out. So I do want to use this little radio die cut. I think it's adorable, and I love the blue color of it. And I decided to add that to the bottom left corner of those two photos. So I'm going to land that right there, right below the journaling pieces there. I've also added in a couple of phrases to the top corner of the small photos. I have the green one that says teenage years, and then another white one with green letters that says don't blink, which is perfect because the kids grow up so fast, and I love those phrases for that. Now above that above those two little phrases and the title, there was kind of like some trapped white space. So I decided to grab another label from the Pocket Life kit, and I stamped that with a phrase from the Pocket Life stamps, and the phrase that I used was I wouldn't change a thing, which is definitely how I feel about my son. He is so fun, such a fun personality, and I wouldn't change a thing about him. I just adore him. So here's where I'm going to switch gears and start to work with those speech bubble dies and stamps for my journaling. Now, I apologize with the coloring here because I was working on a white background. The shading of my camera just keeps going in and out. So I'm placing some cardstock behind it to try to help the camera, focus or get the coloring right. So I apologize for that going in and out throughout the entire video. Okay, so I prepared those speech bubbles and I stamped the lines on them, and I'm also going to, because I've staggered the speech bubbles, I've decided to use the number stamps from the Puffy stickers to number those speech bubbles. So as you read the journaling, it will help the viewer to follow along with that. So I am going to use those, but I did set them aside for a moment thinking I might want them out of the way while I do my journaling. In the meantime, I am going to add a few more details here. I wanted some more green towards the bottom of the page, so I added that little cardstock sticker that says awesome experience to the right of the radio there. And now I'm grabbing these mini shape stickers from the embellishment kit, and I'm popping in all of these stars around. You can see that I added some tonal stars on top of the title in the same colors as each of those vellum letters, and I just wanted to add some dimension and sparkle there, so I added those. And now I'm going to sprinkle them around the floral clusters and around the speech bubbles as well, and I'm just taking a minute to decide on the colors. I also did add one to the center of the radio, and I like that. It brings that dimensional feel of the glitter foam down to the bottom of the page as well. So here's where I decide that I do want to add in the word dude so that my title says cool dude. So I grabbed another label from the Pocket Life kit, and then I'm going to use the glitter foam alphabet stickers in this coral red color to add the word dude with an exclamation point, and then I'll just tuck that in underneath the title, or the larger word cool there. And I love that. I think that worked out really well, and it filled that trapped white space really well. And yeah, I like how that turned out. So the final thing that I will do is I will work on my journaling off camera. As I hand wrote my journaling on these speech bubbles, it did feel a little busy with those dotted lines. So I re-stamped those without the dotted lines and rewrote my journaling. I replaced the numbers, and you will see that in the closing shots. Again, these are the February 2025 kits from Hip Kit Club. Such a fun kit. I hope if you haven't picked it up that you will go and grab it for yourself, and be sure to check out what the other design team members have made with this kit. All right, thanks for watching. Have an awesome week. We'll see you again soon.